on this episode of the KD Sports Talk. Claw. No, I'm just joking.
The claw.
Dude.
I'm guessing Nick's above you, huh?
No. Nick's below on my screen.
Always on the bottom.
I think I figured out why one of my pipes is leaking.
I'm totally a power bottom.
Yeah, you are. That's what I love about you.
Thank you.
On this episode of the KD Sports Talk, it's week 0, boys. College football is here. I'm fucking stoked, and it's going to be shit games, and I'm going to sit through all of them, and I don't even fucking care.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah,
that's how you do that.
I understand that college football is here. Cannot wait to see some Ohio State football.
Minnesota.
I can't wait.
What gets me excited, and if anyone else plays it, they know. Always on the very first Ohio State football game, that is when my fantasy league that Nick is in as well, does our draft. So next Saturday is our draft.
Wrong answer, because the game's not on Saturday; it's on Thursday. The game is on Thursday night at 8:00.
Yeah, I know.
That's why. Stupid.
That's why we were able to change the time. But that's besides it. First week always indicates
fantasy football
draft, and I'm so pumped for it. We're gonna get into a couple players that we love.
It's very elite. It's a very elite.
It's elitist
group.
Yeah, I know you all in that group.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't say like elite. We like elite in our own minds. Yes. There's definitely a lot of that in our league.
Who won last year?
Dylan won last year.
Niedekor?
Yeah. This is
what did he do? Did he auto draft?
He won last year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't give a shit. I won highest points.
How do you get highest points but not win?
So it's like it's regular season. Well, it's total.
It is total. It's difficult. It's bullshit.
Because it's not like we don't go by points the whole year. Like we actually play and then it's record.
I get ripped off.
Just because you score the most points doesn't mean you're going to win every week.
So, I score 118 that week, standard league scoring. The person I'm playing scores 125, doesn't do it the rest of the year.
Right. Gotcha.
That happens a lot in our league.
Yeah, that's rough. How are you going to score the most points throughout the whole season and still not win the fucking league? All right, well, I mean, we're talking about. We'll do that later. Since we're talking about NFL, some of the teams are starting to come out and name their starting quarterbacks for the year. Some of these aren't so. They're not so fucking glamorous. They're not. I mean, we all know who they're gonna pick. Like, obviously, Jacksonville is going with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, I guess coming out and just straight up saying it is something. I'm glad that Gardner Minshew can finally take a shit. Do you know what I'm talking about? I want that.
Like, wait, no, take a shit.
Yeah. He said that he hasn't shit in months because he can't afford to be number 2 or
number two is not an option for him.
Yeah. So he said that, which is a great line. Yeah. So there was a meme.
Oh my God.
As soon as they announced Trevor Lawrence was starting, it showed the meme of Lamar Jackson going into.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say we talk about Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's what, dude. I saw that and I honestly was so confused until you started talking about it. I was just like, why did Gardner Minshew turn into Lamar Jackson? Like, I didn't get that. Now I remember. Okay, yes.
He took a shit as soon as
dude, no, it was in the middle of the Browns game last year.
As soon as he said that, somebody had that fired up and ready to roll. As soon as they named Lawrence, you know it. You know they did.
But it was. Who else are you going to go with? Let's not be ridiculous at all.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked that question. Did anyone ever really believe like Urban when he was like talking about like how it's a tight battle, it's not getting, like he talked about that during the preseason, like, both are competing really hard. It's closer. It's close. It's like, shut up, dude. This is your franchise player. It's not.
Sure, but what if it's something similar to what San Francisco's doing, to bring up another topic that we want to.
Yeah, but Gardner Minshew's not Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's fair. That's fair. He's better. He's got a better haircut, better mustache.
And Justin Fields in Chicago, like Andy Dalton's going to start game 1, but
yeah, and then we'll see how that goes.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's the thing, and why I'm okay with it is just for the simple fact that Justin Fields isn't, Trevor Lawrence. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Trevor Lawrence is, they're thinking then, the next Andrew Luck, the next Peyton Manning, whatever. Those guys started day 1. You start those type of guys day 1. Justin Fields
could be that guy, no problem.
Yeah, but I also think it's smart for Chicago to also not play him right off.
Well, I'm firmly in the camp that they can start him week 2, just so that he doesn't have to play Andrew Donald game 1.
Aaron Donald, yes.
What'd I say? Yeah, Aaron Donald. Andrew. Dude, it's a fucking day, but it's a fucking
day. Hey,
Aaron.
It's all right. People know who they're listening to. If you hear a guy fudging names up,
if you fucking
who you're listening to.
And speaking of Justin Fields, he had a bit of a welcome to the NFL rookie moment.
Oh my God, that guy was so nasty.
Fucking destroyed him. I don't remember who hit him. I just know that the line shifted the way they were supposed to, and left a free edge rusher on his block. Actually, it was his front side. He's right-handed, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so it was his front side. He should have seen it. He should have known it was coming. Guy had a free access. And everyone's saying, "Oh, he should have shifted the line this way or in that way." And I did see Kurt Warner actually go in and go, "That's not true. That's pretty much he had to just get rid of the ball because they couldn't what they brought. They couldn't block it."
Well, with the package, with the line package they had in there, they didn't have the extra tight end in. Yeah,
it was just the perfect blitz, and all he would have done is either he would have had to escape, get to his hot route, or throw it away.
Well, I mean,
those were his options.
Yeah, that's a teachable moment right there. Like he knows that guy is coming off free. You got to go to your hot route right away. 3 steps and out.
Right.
But yeah, dude, his helmet went
flying. that was awful.
Not just his helmet, his headband also went.
Yeah, his headband too. I forgot about
that. Yeah. Kind of looked like Clowney against was it, Michigan?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we touched on it. What do you think about San Francisco's way of handling their quarterback situation? Jimmy G is the clear starter from what they're saying, but he will be subbed out for packages for Trey Lance.
Okay, so this is my thing with the whole San Francisco thing. Did you guys watch any of the San Francisco's game during the preseason?
No, I saw some highlights.
I saw some highlights of Trey Lance, and that dude is just slanging it. Like he is just slinging the ball all over the place.
His arm is pretty freaking nice.
Yeah. So I kind of see them using. It's going to be kind of annoying for 49ers fans, but as a Michigan fan from past years, I can give you some thought. It kind of reminds me of Tate 4CA, Denard Robinson. Back when they were freshmen, when it was pretty much when Denard came in, they were running it. They were doing a run play with the quarterback. Difference is Trey Lance is a lot better of a thrower.
Yeah, he's not going to be throwing it. Right. He's not going to be running it. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Well, not all the time. Like he can run a hell of a lot better than Jimmy G can, but he can also sling the ball, obviously. I'm all right with this.
The tight window he put it in was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm all right with this. Because Jimmy G is a great quarterback, and if you're going to have him, I know you don't like him. You don't like Jimmy G?
Me personally?
No,
or are you
Nick in his fucking face.
Yeah, your stupid fucking face.
This thing keeps muting and unmuting. No, I don't like Jimmy G. I don't think he's that good.
Do you think
I don't care. Okay, here's the thing. If I can talk over my daughter for once in my life.
No.
Steve Young has already came out and said that Trey Lance needs to be the starter right now. And I'll take Steve Young's word over anybody else that talks anything from San Francisco.
I mean, Kyle Shanahan is a quarterback guru. Like he knows what he's doing.
True.
Okay, cool. I don't care. Jimmy G's not better. The only reason they're doing it, the only reason they're playing Jimmy G is to save face and to not have something be bad media. I guarantee
Yeah.
it's the only reason they're doing that.
They're appeasing him. I can understand that.
Until they trade him.
They should have done that earlier.
That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
There's going to be someone's going to go down. There's going to be a quarterback needy team. Hell, the fucking Dallas Cowboys can't get Dak to play it down in 3 years. So
and they're already talking about he might not. He's going to be weird. It's going to be a weird season for him already.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because I mean, I haven't watched Hard Knocks, so I don't know. But like
we'll get into that. But yeah, keep going.
But like it's his whole shoulder, this whole shoulder sprain. It was supposed to be just a couple weeks, and now they're acting like it's going to be a couple months.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everyone's and even during Hard Knocks, they kind of gave some of the game commentary, and the commentator was just like, despite all the tweets you have read or heard, Dak is fine. They're just erring on the side of caution, and now you're hearing that it's going to be worse. That it's worse than it.
Did you see the tweet? Did you see the tweet that Dallas Cowboys put out? It was literally it literally said, "There's nothing to worry about, but Dak Prescott is going back in for another MRI."
Jesus.
Literally put in there, "There's nothing to worry about."
Yeah. I think it's getting pretty bad, I believe, in my personal opinion, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah,
before it gets better.
I mean, their backups are not good at all.
Ben DiNucci threw 3 interceptions in their last.
Yeah.
In their last. Well, actually, what Nick's watching, because they're re-airing the Cowboys Texans game. Spoiler alert: DiNucci will throw 3 interceptions.
I turned it already. It was so boring.
It was bad. It gets
For me, preseason is like awesome, like week 1, and then like the first game of week 2, and then I just want the regular season.
Well, next game will be the dress rehearsal. So I think like this Friday, the Lions are actually going to play relevant people. You know what I mean? So I'm excited for that, to see what the Lions do for that. Let's continue on the quarterback talk, because it just seems like that is what everyone's doing.
News. Yeah, that's the news.
Cam had a misunderstanding of the COVID protocols or rules for unvaccinated players. I'm not going to get into whether he should be or shouldn't be vaccinated, whatever. He had but it deals with traveling. He has to miss 5 days because of that ruling or the travel rule for them. Giving Mac Jones literally all the reps. Is this opening the door for Mac Jones, who I understand it's practice, I understand it's preseason, but they are having joint practices with the New York Giants, and apparently he is lighting it up.
Well, are the Giants smart for doing that? Because, I mean, Bill Belichick has a nasty habit of stealing their playbooks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty common for these joint practices.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was a big-ass fight at the Browns joint practice.
Yeah, and the Browns guy came at him like this.
Oh, my God. It was the worst form ever. Was that? Yeah.
And you know what hurt the most? Watching episode 2 of Hard Knocks when the Rams came for a joint practice. I heard.
Oh, because your boy was there.
Oh, yeah. Just walking out in his...
Did he look skinny? I bet
in his fat suit.
I bet he looked skinny. So, speaking of the Rams, we'll bring this in right now, and the Patriots, actually.
Yeah.
The Patriots traded Sonny Michael.
Dude, everything is...
Oh, my God,
going.
Kenny. Just stop.
Is it Sonny Mike?
Just
is
stop.
It Sonny Michael?
No, it's Sony.
You said Sony. Oh, my God. Okay, so Patriots trade Sony Michel to the
That is not Michelle.
Yes,
that is not Michelle.
It is pronounced Michelle.
It's definitely not Michael.
In what world? I have a brother whose name is Michael who spells it exactly like that.
Well, his parents didn't spell his name right.
Sony Michel.
That is not my conversation to have.
I've never seen Michael spelled that way.
Swear to fucking Christ.
He's missing an A
that
somewhere.
Is how my brother's name is spelled. It is no joke.
Sony Michel.
Whatever. I'm so sorry. Sony Michel is traded from the Patriots to the Rams for next year's 6th round pick and the 2023 4th round pick. How do you feel about this trade? And that dude needs to change his name.
Suits both parties, I think. Gives the Rams a Pro Bowl potential running back. Sony Michel was really good 2 years ago with the Patriots. He was hurt pretty much all last year. But Patriots have Damian Harris and James White at running back. So it's not like they're hurting for running backs. And Bill Belichick's a master of turning late draft picks past the 3rd, 4th round into legends. So they got a 6th and a 4th. So they got 2 decent picks for a guy who barely played last year. So I'd say that's a win-win on both sides.
So for me,
oh my God, I know why I know this guy. I'm a freaking idiot.
Played at Georgia.
He played in Georgia with Chubb and
no Sean Marino.
That what?
Yeah, no Sean Marino. When he on around the same time? Oh no, Chubb.
No,
Chubb wasn't with
Yes, he was.
Not
I'm
with,
gonna look this up right now.
I'm saying no to me, dipshit. Listen.
Okay.
Jesus.
Sean was way before.
Yeah. No Sean was way before.
No Sean was with freaking Stafford.
So let's.
Yeah, they had a 3-headed monster though.
Yes. What was it? It's gonna piss me off. Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
Duh. Holy shit.
As far as this trade's concerned, Stafford has pissed off some god somewhere to where they said, fuck you and any running game that you might have. He just continuously doesn't have a running game, and every time he does, they hurt the player.
He must have spoke bad about Barry Sanders or something at one point.
Dude, it's something is against him. So they get a solid starter. Now he's going to be their only back, which is good for him, good for fantasy, and we'll talk about that later. But if there's one thing Stafford knows how to do, it is throw to a running back out of the backfield. And I think Sony Michel has receiving abilities as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they'll be able to use that. So I think his stock as far as free agency goes skyrockets.
Yeah.
So back in 2018, his rookie season, he rushed for 931 yards. 2019, it was 912, and then obviously he got hurt last year, so it was only it was pretty much 450. But his average yards per rush were over 3 yards. It was 3.7 back in 2019, 4.5. So
well,
I mean, he's a good 3-down back.
He was on in his first 2 years with his first year with New England for his rookie year for sure. He was. I mean, it was just freaking running back by committee. It was pretty much whoever had the hot hand. It was never really consistent. Then that following year, 19, Michel was pretty much the first and second down back. James White was third downs. And then the only thing that hurt him really was Rex Burkhead was still there. Those guys were getting like the red zone carries and stuff. So I'm kind of interested.
Can he take the load? Yeah.
I'm interested to see how good he can be with getting all these carries.
And I hope he stays healthy.
Yeah.
Because if he's fully, if it's 2019 Sony Michel fully healthy, the Rams definitely might have upgraded from Cam Akers.
Yeah. They got a guy. Okay, let's call him.
They got a guy. They got a guy.
What?
They got a guy. Like he first in 16 games, he rushed for 247 times.
Yeah.
That's a pretty decent load. But it was still like you said, running back by committee. He's gonna take all of the runs now. But with Stafford there, and I think
It'll be a good mix.
A good
Yeah.
balance. Yeah.
Well, yeah, so it definitely the Rams the benefits just because they went from pass heavy to now they can be more balanced with a guy
Yeah.
like Sony Michel.
For sure.
I'm sure there'll probably be some veteran running back that they'll sign at some point in the season. Just because they're going to see the workload he's having, and they're probably going to try and find somebody, not like, like somebody like an Adrian Peterson, something like that, somebody who was good at one point and it's just
Could you imagine
wanting to run out the clock. Not saying it's going to be Adrian Peterson, but
right,
something like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good pickup, and like you said, freaking Belichick is a king at just finding late round gems.
I mean,
so
you'll hear, oh, and this week the Patriots are playing a person that hasn't started yet, and you're just like, who the f- is this guy?
And then they have six catches for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns, and it's just like, oh,
nothing the rest of the year.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I may never take a New England running back ever.
It's these last 6 years, it's been the hardest thing to do because there's been some good ones like James White and Sony Michel, Rex Burkhead. Like there's been some guys that have gone through there that it's just like, man, like they'll have games where it's like 25, 30 points. It's like, yes. Then the next week, 1. Then the week after that, 5. Week after that, they'll have like a 15, and then it's like 0, 0, 2, 3, and then look, another 20-pointer.
Yeah.
So it's like you just got to get lucky with them and hope it's their day.
Exactly, and that's what I'm just like. I stay away from them.
So we
go
kind of
ahead.
got turned around because we were talking about the Patriots and Cam Newton, and I don't think we really talked about that much about it. So I think this is fucking retarded, but so Cam Newton went to a doctor's appointment out of state, or that was allegedly, that's what I heard.
That's what happened.
Yeah, and he went out of state, and that's why he's now in these freaking protocols.
Yeah.
It's so stupid, but I mean the way that Cam has been playing through the preseason, just because he's out for 5 days, I don't think it's going to really bring a.
But Belichick will also come up with any fucking reason.
But here's the thing:
play who he wants to play.
Don't even go off of Bill Belichick here. Just think of it straight up. How many days is Cam Newton out for?
5.
Okay. How many days now is Mac Jones going to take full starter reps?
5.
5. That's 5 days. If Mac Jones has been looking really good.
No, I'm not saying Mac Jones hasn't looked good, because he has looked good. I'm just saying I don't think that 5 days is going to kill Cam Newton's chances of starting.
Why not?
I don't think he had a solid starting position anyway. I think
exactly. If Cam Newton was so solidified as a starter, they wouldn't have drafted Mac Jones.
Okay, listen to me. Out of the 5 quarterbacks that were taken in the first round, the one that you are not starting right away is Mac Jones.
Why? Depends on what team he's on. Depends on the situation.
I mean, I don't.
If he goes to Cleveland, yeah, I'm playing Baker over him. If he's in Pittsburgh, yeah, I'm playing Big Ben over him. If he's in Detroit, yeah, I'm going to play Jared Goff. Keep going. But this is the freaking Patriots. The Patriots are win now, and Cam Newton. If Cam Newton's not it, which he wasn't last year, he showed signs of it. But
I wouldn't play Justin Fields.
You're not.
And that's strictly because he's an Ohio State quarterback. I'll just go with history on that one.
He's not your normal Ohio State quarterback.
Yeah,
though.
I hear you.
I
hear you, but shoot, man, their luck is none.
I don't like if the Patriots draft what they think can help them win right away. Patriots aren't thinking long term. I don't think the Patriots have ever thought long term. Ever since they've had Tom Brady and Tom Brady's become Tom Brady, it's been a win now mentality in New England. Which of course they've been doing it really, really well for the last 15 years. But so I don't think the Patriots are that stubborn that if they didn't think Mac Jones could help them win now, they wouldn't have drafted him. Even if he helps them 5-10 years from now, the Patriots aren't Kraft's old, Belichick's old. Belichick's the GM. He's thinking, I'm going to win as many as I can before I get out of here. That's what I'm thinking.
So he hasn't thrown an interception all through the postseason, and he hasn't. What did I say? Postseason.
Who cares? It's the
And, well,
preseason.
I know
Who
that
cares?
he hasn't thrown a touchdown. He hasn't thrown an interception. His game against Philly, his last game, he went 13 for 19 for 146 yards.
Yeah, and Philly sucks.
And Philly sucks.
That is also true.
Just like Derek was talking about before you hopped
Yeah.
on. Pittsburgh fans was like, "Oh, Big Ben's back." Yeah, he did it against the Lions in preseason. Who cares? Like
He went against the Lions backups in preseason.
Yeah.
Now,
So-
am I saying that he can't possibly throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns against the Lions in a regular season game? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's possible. I'm saying don't put too much stock into preseason.
it's
preseason's all about just getting reps.
well, it's more about filling out your 53 instead of your actual starters.
You're finding out. You're finding out what guys can. Special teams is like the real big one, right? That's what you want to find those guys to fill those spots. When you're going into preseason, these NFL teams are about 90% sure of who their starters and backups are. Right off the rip.
Special teams. You know what? Let me brag just a little bit here. The Lions punter, Jack Fox, who is the MVP of the team, has the number 1, number 4, and number 5 in net kicking in net punts for already this year. Number 1 being a 70-yarder.
Oh yeah, dude, he boomed one against Pittsburgh. It was like 66 yards, the one, and then his next one I think was the 70-yarder. It was like back to back. It was like 2 punts and it was like 135 yards together. Yeah. And it was just like Jesus.
He's gonna get the Pat McAfee treatment. He's gonna get drug tested. So let's talk about 2 more things. We've got looks like 2 more things as far as NFL before we get to other stuff. Robbie Anderson gets a 2-year, $29.5 million with over $20 million guaranteed
for the Panthers.
For the Panthers.
It's going to the Panthers or with the Panthers.
Yeah.
Is he worth that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
1,000 times over, he's worth that. I was just pulling. I knew he was over 1,000 yards. He didn't have a lot of touchdowns last year, but I mean, 95 catches over 1,000 yards, 11 yards a catch. When he was with New York, he started 2016 was his rookie year, 42 catches, 587 yards. The next year, 63 catches for 941, 50 catches, 752, 52 for 779. His longs, 52, 69, 76, 92, 75. So
I think I had him at one point.
He was super productive for a terrible Jets team. And I mean, you put him on a decent team in Carolina, and now look at him. He gets Sam Darnold now.
I was gonna say he's
I'm
back
curious.
with Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Which I don't know. Did he play with Sam Darnold?
I mean, he was with the Jets from 2016 to 2019.
What year did Darnold get drafted, though? That's what I'm saying.
Sam Darnold was drafted in 20.
Would have been before that.
18.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know if his rookie season was 19 or whatnot. But still, yeah. I mean, so he had 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns. I mean, he's not a huge touchdown threat, but he's a great possession receiver that's going to make big catches for you. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, if he can stay productive like he did last year, I mean,
he's got to stay productive. Yeah,
over 1,000 yards.
I think he's worth it. It's not some ridiculous
15 million a year.
Yeah,
I mean, for 2 years, that's nothing for
nobody
for a pretty good. I mean, he's not a top 10 receiver.
It's the price tag is what the price tag is.
He's probably a top 20 receiver in the NFL. He's probably pretty close. I mean, so. I'd say that's a pretty damn good deal for Carolina.
And then last thing I wanted to talk about before we can get to some other sports news, and then we'll probably wrap it up with our 2 fantasy players. I know, Kenny, you said you haven't watched any of the Hard Knocks. I don't know if Nick has.
No.
Whatever. It's pretty freaking boring. I think the 3rd episode was probably one of the more fun ones to watch. My favorite's always.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
My favorite's always when they get cut, which isn't until next episode. That's always. It's not fun to watch. It's interesting.
It's intriguing.
Because people are losing their jobs. It's very
emotional,
it's
sweaty palms. Like, what's going to be said?
yeah,
Is somebody going to throw?
It's reality TV to its best.
Yeah.
But you're asking what the drone thing is. They did so they have like a victory lane. I mean, the whole Cowboy Stadium is just this huge. It's a facility. It's where they have a hotel on there. That's where the players stay at. I mean, the whole facility where they're at for training camp is just ridiculously nice. And they do from all the way. They go all the way down the lane. They go underneath and in, like underneath a statue, and then the drone will follow. It goes into the buildings and goes into this and that, and people are working out, and they go around the people working out, and you see the field, you see the stadium, you see meeting rooms. I mean, if you don't watch Hard Knocks, they have put out this drone video. Watch that. It's about 3 minutes long, maybe a little over. It is worth it. It took them it took them, I think, 10 hours to do, and about 15 different takes. Because the drone, at one point they show it, the drone actually hit the statue and fell down. Like, I mean, whoever was driving that drone, man, he deserves a lot of credit. But it is a fantastic shot, continuous shot, and it's definitely worth your guys' time. I just wanted to let everyone know that. And then we can move on. But
did we mention Teddy Bridgewater at all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think at the front, but yeah, Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the QB.
Drew Lock is not happy.
Well, I would imagine.
I would hope.
He said he was playing some of the best football of his career. He doesn't understand it, but also nothing negative. He hopes Teddy does well.
The right thing to say, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He's a team.
So,
player.
like, here's the thing: when everybody outside of the Denver Broncos, when Teddy Bridgewater signed, said, "Okay, oh yeah," so they signed Teddy to be their starting quarterback. I'm not surprised by that happening. I have not been impressed by Drew whatsoever. Obviously, I haven't seen any preseason stuff or anything out of him, but
who watches preseason, really?
Right? So, I mean, that first thing there does not surprise me whatsoever. I think Teddy Bridgewater's is pretty good quarterback, so I think he'll be just fine too. I don't think he'll give any reason for Denver to try and turn it back over to Locke. So, if I'm Drew, I might be looking for a trade if it's possible.
This drone shot is fucking sweet.
Sure. You watching it a little bit?
Yeah, I'm watching it right now on Twitter.
It is fantastic. I mean, it's worth your.
It's like it's a little over 3 minutes long, but yeah, that's pretty sweet.
It's absolutely worth your time. And I feel like this is going to be something that they're going to start doing from here on out because it got such a good review. But also, other teams probably don't have the same facilities. Like, I'll almost guarantee other teams don't have the same facilities the Cowboys do, and there's a reason that they did it, because they're so freaking nice.
Yeah, like
their practice stadium holds more people than my high school stadium. Like, it's insane.
Well, that's just their indoor stadium or indoor facility too. That's
right.
Not even where they actually have training camp.
Right. So yeah,
oh my
Nick has a couple things like.
Nick wants to talk about his.
Was it Gavin Weir?
Gavin Weir, man.
Yeah, I got it. I didn't even know who he is.
Yeah, just like golfer Mike Weir. I don't know if there's any relation there or not. So Gavin Weir is the Jacob deGrom of the Little League World Series.
Well, you just threw out another name. I don't know.
This dude is unhittable. All right, and Jacob deGrom plays for the Mets. He's hurt right now, but he's been pretty much the same way. So I'm gonna throw some stats at you that Gavin Weir has done here in the Little League World Series over the last few months. For you non-baseball people, if my daughter doesn't interrupt, we will hear all these stats and you will be just like, holy crap. Okay, so Gavin Weir, his last 7 starts, he has pitched 37.2 innings. He has thrown 526 pitches. He has 100 strikeouts. He has given up 1 hit and 0 earned runs. Okay. He just
7 games.
7 games. His last 7 starts. Okay. You want me to add some? So he threw his opening game at the Little League World Series. He threw 5.2 innings. They played 6 innings. I think he hit his pitch count, and they pulled him. He pitched 5.2 innings. He had 11 strikeouts and gave up a hit. His very next start, he throws a no-hitter. And then today was his next start. And what does he do? He goes back to back. He throws another no-hitter today as well.
Good
so
Lord.
In his last 8 games, he has struck out 114 of 132 batters. And he has thrown, it's his 4th no-hitter of the summer.
So
Good Lord.
I'm going to say it right now. Okay. Congratulations. Those sound like amazing stats. This goes out to Gavin Weir. From me, this is only from me. This is not from the podcast. You're striking out little kids. Wait until a grown-ass man like myself. I couldn't get you. Can't laugh. Hold on.
Wait, we gotta cut that out. We can't let Derek laugh during this. He's got to be serious.
Shit.
We're gonna cut it, and we're gonna let him go in. Go again.
I can't. Hold on. Just stop striking out little kids. Wait until a grown-ass man like myself steps up to the plate, and see if you can strike them out. I bet I fucking hit 1 yard on you. Okay, I only hit dingers, and I'll crowd the plate. I ain't even scared.
Oh,
Do you see how many analogies I can actually throw out, and I don't even know this word?
Oh
I
my God.
would honestly.
Would that be awesome?
Someone
wanna
get this
message-
kid.
I want to find his parents' Facebook, message them,
Yeah.
and tell them I will pay them any amount of money for their son to come pitch for 30 minutes to an hour to come pitch to my friend who's
Myron.
diseased, who can't even probably pick up a bat, let alone swing.
Oh,
the thing.
could you imagine my shoulders?
Just-
Like I could just feel them shredding. Yeah.
One swing with a little league bat, your
I do-
rotator cuff is getting
Oh,
torn.
because they're so light too, man. And
Yeah.
you'd be swinging so fast and be like, oh, bat gone, everything.
I'd bunt the shit out of him.
I'd fuck the shit out of your ass.
It would be fun to watch this kid like throw against like average Joes.
Or just like even
Oh, pros versus
um,
Joes. You remember that show?
I love this.
even like a high school kid.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
like the next like and then like go up to
Yeah,
like
even
college
level.
or whatever. Yeah.
Dude, he's gonna get drafted. He's gonna get drafted out of the Little League World Series.
I'm guessing he's probably already got a Division I college offer already.
I would assume so.
He ain't going to
I mean-
college.
I mean, hell,
Let's
if
get
they're-
over it.
If they're giving 10, 12, 11-year-old kids football and basketball scholarships, might as well just start throwing baseball into the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing with baseball.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Gavin-
the thing with
Gavin Weir,
baseball.
I don't want to diminish any of your things, but let you step your game up. They're just little kids.
That are your age, but no big deal.
Yeah, right. But yeah,
Weak.
that,
And according to our friend Derek Stock, you are weak. That's
start striking
weak.
out professionals
I-
or don't even talk about it.
I do that kid is doing some stuff that's
Welcome
that's
to
never
Little
been
League.
seen.
Welcome to Little League Baseball, where the numbers are made up and nobody cares.
And the points don't matter.
The points don't matter.
Yeah,
Everybody's winners here.
Kenny, maybe you have a little bit more information on this next topic here. I saw this. I don't know what it means, so maybe you can shed light on it for me and anyone listening. The Big
Okay.
Ten, ACC, and Pac-12 are forming an alliance. Please explain.
So when I first heard about this is the way that I understood it, and I think this is exactly how it's going to be. So everybody knows about Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC.
Yep.
So the SEC is the first big super conference now. They got 60. They have 16 teams, I think, starting in 2025, and they're just pretty much getting rid of the Big 12 because nobody else outside of Kansas basketball and Baylor basketball none of them really make that much money to keep the conference going. So I guess our response, the Big Ten, the ACC, and the Pac-12's response to SEC doing this is that they are forming an alliance, and it's kind of like a gentleman's agreement.
That
Not-
teams won't jump ship.
that teams won't go from the Big Ten to the ACC, from the ACC to the big, Pac-12, whatever, right?
They'll just go to the SEC.
Yeah, they'll just go to the SEC. But that, and then they're also going to start scheduling each other instead of scheduling weaker
SEC
schools and SEC.
SEC schools, yeah.
Okay,
And
first of all, great, because SEC can kiss my ass.
That is the only part I like about this.
Is the fact that they're going to schedule each other, and you might actually get some more competition.
Right.
Yes.
So we don't watch an Ohio State game and we go, what is it? It's third quarter. They're up 53-14. Awesome.
Right.
Super boring.
I had a couple people tell me that this is the start of them forming their own super conference as well. And I don't know how much I trust it.
I don't think it will.
But it's mainly for basketball and baseball, or basketball and football, excuse me. But because obviously that's where the money is made. But there's only one way that I would be okay with this, with it becoming like a super conference. And it's if we dropped our weaker schools and just took our top
5 out of each conference.
Yeah. Yes. Top 5, top 6, whatever it is.
Enough?
Yeah.
Or even
whatever.
Or even top 6, you can go 18 teams.
Yeah, just go top 6 from each. And
then
conference.
you can go 9. You can go 9-9 in each division. You can do 2 divisions, 9-9, split them up, whatever.
Yep. Yeah. And that would be, because the whole thing is to make the SEC look bad, because they play shit teams, and everybody outside of Alabama on pretty much every year is just shit in football now. Like Florida's getting better, and Georgia's usually okay, but Texas A&M ain't shit. Texas, when they get there, ain't shit.
Ooh, you better rethink about Texas A&M this year.
Bro, listen, I've gotten into it with Texas A&M people on Twitter. They are a bunch of fucking morons. They think their fucking school is so fucking.
So
great.
now you understand what it's like to talk to a Browns fan that's had recent success,
or an Ohio State fan.
Yeah. Hey, hold on.
Bias.
Let's not jump past this too quick, Kenny. Getting annoyed at people because they have high expectations for a team.
Listen to me. Have high expectations for your school or have their team. I don't give a shit about that. That's fine. Think you can sit there and think your team is going to go 10 and whatever. I don't care. 10-2, 11-1. I don't give a shit what you think your school is going to do. But don't sit there and tell me that your school is better than Ohio State because you play in the SEC.
Oh well, okay. Well, you didn't say that.
Well, no, yeah, I didn't get to it because you were jumping down my goddamn throat.
Well, it was more because I couldn't miss that opportunity. You being annoyed by other fan bases when you're a Browns fan and an Ohio State fan, and you guys are the most 2 annoying fan bases in sports. So
okay, let's relax. All right, let's relax.
Close.
You're a Steelers fan, okay? I don't need to hear your shit.
We're not that bad. Yeah, okay, but I mean, it's only annoying because we're winners. It's like Patriots people, like people hate the Patriots fans because they win.
So you have had 1 Super Bowl in my lifetime.
2.
Mm-hmm. Been to the 3, 1, 2 in our lifetime.
Yeah. The Browns beat the Steelers in a playoff game. That's the highlight of their since they've came back.
Here's my thing with both. Okay.
We've gone way off the alliance.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we're past that. Let's get. I'm gonna take it from a neutral party who's in the NFC North and not in the AFC North like you guys.
Best conference in the goddamn league.
Let me tell you guys here.
This
is what's annoying is it's always. We've talked about this multiple times on this podcast. What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not had a losing season in 10, 11 years, 12
right,
years.
Which makes you guys extremely good. But every time, like, let's say a Browns fan makes a comment. Hey, we beat you at the end of the year. Hey, you beat our backups. Then we beat you in the playoffs. You know what I mean? What does Steelers fans do? And it's multiple fans that have this ability to do so. Well, talk to us when you won a Super Bowl, or we have this many Super Bowl. Well, it doesn't matter because the last year is the only thing that mattered. Last year, Browns got the better of the Steelers, but the Buccaneers are the only team that actually had success.
No, so
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
So like, okay, there's
Yeah.
idiots in every fan base.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Because I mean, that's the only I won't even
Yeah.
bring up Super Bowl, especially with a Browns argument. I will not bring up Super Bowls.
Right.
You want to talk about like, okay, yes, you guys had a really good team, all right, but Ben Roethlisberger has lost like 3 times in his career to you guys. Like
Literally, I think
and
he's 25-3-1,
yeah, and that's So like, I'm not like,
and 2 of them were last year.
if you like, even with Mahomes being hurt, if you guys would have made the AFC Championship game and lost, you would have earned more respect. I had respect for the Browns until they couldn't beat Kansas City without Mahomes.
Dude,
When they let
it's
Chad
that
Henne-
play. It's
when
that
they let
goddamn
Chad-
play, dude. It's that goddamn play, that goddamn 15-yard fucking run from a goddamn 15-year veteran from the stupid ass school up north.
And then you got
I
the
can't
drive.
get over that stupid shit. How do you
'Cause
let him just do that?
Sorry to bring up old wounds, but
Oh my
like, 'cause
god!
you can ask anybody that knows me when it comes to being at least as a Michigan fan. I'm about the realest person you're going to find when it comes to their team. I am one. When we suck, I will let you know that we suck. If we are good, I'll let you know that we're good. But I shouldn't say I lost respect for the Browns last year, but I just think it's funny that they can lose to Chad Henne in the second half of a playoff game and scream Super Bowl the following year.
Well,
And that's expectations. I get it. You guys have
Yeah.
not been good for a long time, and you have the best team you've had in
literally
30,
since we came back.
yeah, which is it's 30 years almost already. It was just crazy.
It's 20. It's
This is
21 years.
This
Oh
is the
God.
best. This is the best Browns team since John Elway was rocking the old orange and blue
Oh, yeah.
and beating you
And
guys in
Denver.
the playoffs.
On
Right.
the drive.
Right. So like, this is I get it. Like, I'm not as annoyed as most people are, just because I'm actually excited for you guys too, because I have a lot of friends that are Browns fans, and I've seen the pain that they have gone through for the last my whole life.
My whole life. Yes.
And it's nice to see you guys winning and being competitive. Even not even just winning, being competitive.
Being
like,
competitive is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, there was years you guys would win a couple games and you would be so pumped. Like Baker's rookie year, when you guys opened up the beer,
The
Bud
beer,
Light
that
fridges
was nuts.
at the stadium. Like, that place, you would have thought it was like when the Cavs won the championship.
The championship, yeah.
And I mean, and that's what football does. I mean, it brings out the idiot in everybody. It's what football does.
It's
for
primitive.
sure.
Does
It's
it
definitely
not?
primitive.
I mean, it doesn't matter what team you root for. Football and your team success will bring out the biggest dipshit in you ever.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
Hold on.
move on. What do you got?
Hold on. One more thing. You scoffed at me when I said that the AFC North is the toughest division in the
It's
league
not.
this year.
It's not. NFC
Oh,
West
I
by
was
far.
ready to say, who said that? Okay.
NFC West
Continue.
is way better than the AFC North.
Continue.
Explain.
Rams, Seahawks, Niners, Cardinals. Boom. Done. 4 teams. Top to bottom. Better than the North.
Yeah, because you guys
Steelers,
got the Bengals.
Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Bengals. Steelers at 500 probably at best this year, depending on Big Ben. Ravens probably 10, 11 wins. Browns potential AFC championship team.
12 to 13, 14 wins.
Rams.
Do you think the
potential-
Bengals can get to 500 this year?
No, absolutely not.
No.
They'll win 2 to 3 games at the best. They don't have an offensive line. Joe Burrow is going to get hurt again this year.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'll give you if Joe Burrow gets hurt, then they're fucked.
And then
I'll give you that.
right. So there's 0 wins if he gets hurt before a win. So yes, from top to bottom, the West, NFC West by far. Cardinals, Seahawks, Niners, Rams. Boom. That's all. That's I don't even. I mean, I can go more in depth for you, but I like those 4 teams right there. Should be enough argument.
I guess I just have hope that the Bengals are going to do something this year. Like
They drafted Jamar Chase over a potential Pro Bowl.
I know. Peninsul. I know.
And they only did it.
I was very pissed about it.
They only did it to keep freaking Burrow happy.
Because they're idiots.
Because, well, I just think you think of past with quarterbacks. What's the thing that most quarterbacks bitch about? Give me weapons. Give me weapons. Why are we getting
the ones that say give me weapons are the ones that have a line that can at least block for 3 seconds. This line can't block for 3 seconds.
I understand that, but it's the world we live in, Kenny.
Like
The
all
world
right,
we live in.
who does
Kenny.
the quarterback take out for dinner? His
What?
offensive line. Who does he
Well,
buy Christmas?
the running backs take the linemen out for dinner more than the
Who does the
quarterback.
quarterback buy presents for? The line.
Yeah,
Like it's a line. Like you need
Yeah.
a line.
but lines don't score touchdowns, and that's all
They're
people
not
care
fancy.
about.
You know who doesn't score touchdowns? Quarterbacks on their back.
Yeah, well,
Go
No
on,
one's
Derek.
ar- you're
I mean, Pittsburgh-
arguing.
I mean,
I'm not trying to
Pittsburgh-
argue.
people
I'm just
that
mad
are,
about
you
it.
know,
I'm just
disagree.
mad about
you
it.
can win. You can win without an offensive line. Pittsburgh proved that for 11 games last year.
11 games.
So I guess there's exceptions to every rule, but
All right, Derek, go on.
No, let's wrap it up with last week we did our players to stay away from.
yes.
We
Ken,
will.
And before we jump into, can I let everybody know, if whoever listened, if you did not want to draft James Robinson because of the in-depth analysis that I gave you last week, don't listen to anything I said, because Travis Etienne is out for the season with a Liz Frank foot injury. Well, potentially out for the season. But if he's out
for season,
I didn't see that he was out for the season. I saw he got injured.
yeah, it's a
Yep.
Liz Frank foot sprain, so it's a season-ending injury.
Mhm.
So everything I said about James Robinson, take it back, rewind it, and take him wherever you want.
but he also doesn't jump too high because of the team he's got around him.
Yeah,
But
but
then again, he had a shit
beast
team last
He was
year.
a beast
Well, now he's got
last year.
now he's got a better quarterback around him, too,
Right.
and better wide
Right.
receivers.
But you don't know how the new coaching staff is going to use him.
Nope.
So there's a little
But-
bit of F's.
yeah.
But yes.
But yeah,
Be cautious with him, but still take him.
his
Um,
upside is way higher now.
Right.
So
Yes.
with that,
Yes.
You know what? I'll just go ahead and start. We spoke about it earlier. Sony Michel with the new trade. I think he's going to be. He has the capabilities of like a Theo Riddick that Stafford had in Detroit,
Yep.
but he also can run the ball better than Theo could, like between the tackles.
he's like a combination of Theo Riddick and Kerryon Johnson.
right.
Yeah,
So I
for you Lions
think
fans.
I think if you move, I mean, he's okay. So Sonny Michel, and I'm talking about strictly where he was at before the trade and then after the trade.
Yeah.
He was at a running back by committee. He went to the Rams, who had 2 season-ending injuries to their starting running backs. There's really no one else around him. He's going to get the majority of the workload. Stafford likes throwing to the back out of the backfield, especially when it's a long distance and they go out and he throws a little safety valve. So I think with this trade skyrocketed. So that's why I picked him for my first guy.
Okay. I also I'm going running back heavy today. With my two guys. First guy, it will also come back to a topic we were talking about earlier with the New England Patriots. On the opposite end of things, we talked about Sony Michel going to the Rams. Let's talk about Damian Harris. All right. Damian Harris, who was pretty good last season. He averaged he was the workhorse back after Michel got hurt. He averaged 5 yards a carry last season. So I was looking up some numbers. His average draft position is at 86. So I'm like, let's see, if you got a 10 teams, that's right around the 8th, 9th round, where he's going. So I wouldn't be afraid to take him maybe a little higher now, especially with Sony Michel gone. James White's going to be probably the 3rd down back.
I was gonna say it's gonna be a necessary handcuff right there.
Yeah, I would think White would be a good handcuff. They also drafted who the hell did they draft? They took they still have running backs. They got James White. They drafted the Stevenson kid and JJ Taylor. And then they also have Brandon Bolden still there. So they're still pretty logjam at running back, but he's the youngest of the group. So I think he'll still be the workhorse for him. I think he's got a really, really good value for like a running back 3. You might, you'll have your Christian McCaffreys and, that second tier running back, say like maybe like a James Robinson or whatnot. But I think Damian Harrison is pushing that verge of an running back 2. But right now, I think he's looking like a really, really, really good run, especially now with the Michel trade. I think he's going to be a pretty solid running back 2, especially if he goes like what he did last year at 5 yards to carry. I think they're going to be Patriots are still going to be their old school ways. I think they're still going to want to run the ball first to start the game. So I think Damian Harris for the Patriots would be a really good guy to be looking out to target this year.
Okay. Mine is pretty obvious, and can't believe that no one else said it either, but it's Tyreek Hill.
Oh, you're going studs. Okay.
Yeah, like I like if we're
No,
going
that's
like who you should be drafting.
Yeah, that's the way you interpreted it. So go ahead.
That's the way I
yeah.
interpreted it. I'm sorry, I didn't think we were looking for diamonds in the rough.
No,
that was on me.
not necessarily. I think with my next guy, he's not necessary. It's not like he's off of anyone's radar. So yeah, just go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need to explain it. Everybody knows who he is and what he does.
Yeah.
But if you're, I feel like with fantasy now, you go wide receiver, and you should be, if you have first pick, you should be taking Tyreek Hill right away.
Yeah, it depends on what league you're in.
Yeah, it depends on what the pointage. I know that there's always a mad rush at the beginning for running backs for us. So
just because there's not a lot of depth at running back.
No, there's only about five
or six
maybe
guys
that are going to get the workload. They're worth it, and then the rest of them we're taking them too early because we're worried that we're not going to get them later.
Right.
It's kind of a panic.
But if you're in a PPR league, Tyreek Hill is like a surefire first round pick.
That's insane. Yeah.
I mean, any league, like it doesn't matter what you're playing. You need to take Tyreek Hill.
I think he's a late round. I think he's going to be a late round guy.
Late first round, early second, depending on how many guys are in your league too. I mean, all that stuff depends,
But I mean, he's going to be on 100% of rosters, so that's
God. I would hope so.
Yeah, no shit. Can you imagine being in that league?
Yeah, I was gonna say whatever league Tyreek Hill is not rostered in, I want to be in that league.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I can pick this guy up off a waiver. Yes, please.
Right. My next guy is just personal preference. I don't really have any reason other than I just love this guy, Keenan Allen.
Yes. Oh yeah.
He's always a good wide receiver.
Beside the fact that he's
wide receiver,
just a good wide receiver, Herbert
loves him.
Him. He doesn't really have much else to throw to either.
No, but Hunter Henry's gone now.
Yeah. I was looking at their draft. I don't believe they drafted anyone of concern. They drafted a lineman first round to keep Herbert on his feet more. So I don't know. I love Keenan Allen. Unfortunately, he gets hurt a lot, which is probably gets people to stay away from him a little bit more possibly. But I think if he stays healthy this year, he's going to absolutely destroy. Because he's the only option there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like.
He's always. She has opinions about your pick, Derek, and she is not happy about it.
I
don't know if that's excited or not. I'm excited for. I like it. Good. I like Keenan Allen. If he stays healthy, I mean, it's not that he's injury prone, but it seems like he always misses like 1 or 2 games a year, just for some weird.
Usually, it's like a hamstring or something. Like it's something that's going to be nagging. It's not necessarily going to be like. It's not a quick fix. Oh, I sprayed my ankle this week. Next week I'll be fine. It's a hamstring where it lingers for 3 weeks.
He'll play and then like he'll miss another game because it re-aggravated or something.
Yep.
So that's really the only cause for concern with Keenan Allen. But when he's playing, he's going to get a lot of targets.
Exactly.
A lot of targets, and he's a great possession receiver. If you're in a PPR league, Keenan Allen's a definite must-have for sure. So. I'm going to stay on the running back side of things again. I went with Chris Carson, the Seahawks running back. Okay. So he's been a workhorse for Seattle ever since Marshawn's been gone. And his just looking up some numbers, average draft position in most leagues is around 37. He's going like fourth, falling in the 4th round. In some leagues from just looking at random like numbers and stuff on him. But I would say that's if you can get him in that spot, he was 13th in points per game among running backs in 2020. He was 12th in points per game in 19. He was 11th in 2018. He's had some injuries, but I think he's a definite like running back 1, running back 2, like he's lingering, like he's like right in that middle, like
I would definitely take him as running back too. Yeah.
Easily.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you can get Chris Carson in the 3rd, 4th round, I think you're doing something right. Especially with like we just talked about with in our league where running backs are few.
Yeah, it's kind
like
of a panic buy really quick. Yeah.
Right. So if you're in a league like that, I wouldn't be afraid to reach for Chris Carson this year. Seattle's loaded on offense when it comes to receivers. They got a good quarterback in Russell Wilson, but like I said, they had that last year, and he was 13th in points per game for running backs. So he's like I said, he's a workhorse, and he's productive, and that's about all you can ask for at the running backs position in fantasy. It's not. You're looking for, we talked about this in our league, which is standard scoring. If you can get 10 points out of your running back a week, then you're rolling.
That's
Either
exactly
whether it's 100 yards or 40 yards and a touchdown. Like it's 10 points in standard scoring is huge. And I think he's that type of guy where he can win you a lot of games. Just be a solid, he's consistent. When he plays, he's good. Like he's kind of like in that Keenan Allen range. He gets some of these weird injuries that keeps him out for maybe a game or two, and he comes back and he might miss one here or there. But when he's in,
no,
he's top 10 running back.
He's killer. But the problem is that it seems like every year I'm off on what other people value him as. So my value seems to be lower than other people's, and they always snatch him up before I would. So I've never even.
That might just be them reaching. That might just be them reaching.
And once again, it's a panic buy from time to time in our league, strictly because you're like, well, crap. The first 6 running backs are off. I need at least someone.
Well, and Derek won't also talk about that. Derek's also a sissy when it comes to drafting too. Derek is afraid to reach for people at all times. He like never does it. Derek is like a by the book drafter.
Yeah.
And sometimes it hurts him. It works. It's worked for you recently. But Derek is not like
this is the only time.
It's so funny, like especially at our draft to see like reactions when people take somebody, like if they reach really bad, they'll laugh. But like Derek won't laugh, but he'll have this like smirk on his face, like dumbass, like
he's calculating. He's calculating.
I have like he's because like I've seen his highlights and stuff. He's got like where he thinks this guy can go and all this type of stuff. And if it's like 2 rounds before where they're supposed to go, he's thinking like that dipshit. Like that's terrible. Like you can just see
there's so many other guys who could have been drafted.
Right. Yeah. Like he's just like you can see it. Like last year I sat behind him and you can see his physical reaction to it where I don't even remember who it was, but somebody reached for somebody like 2 to 3 rounds early, and Derek just like goes like this. He looks at his stat sheet and he like goes and he yells out the number because we all have like that ranking list so we can cross them off. And like our favorite thing to do is like yell out what number they are on the sheet so people can just be like, geez, he was ranked pretty low. And if Derek is calling out the number, you know that you really, really reach for this guy. But then you see Derek go like this. He just goes, where is he? Like, oh, here he is. 100. Like if it's like the 50th pick, he's ranked 100. Like it's pretty comical.
Yeah, it's pretty rough in that league. All right, Ken, let's round it out with what you got going on.
Okay, so I'm gonna pander to Nick here. I thought I owed it to him.
Thank you.
I am gonna go with Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, he is. Like you're talking about a back, and who's a good back to have in fantasy.
He's coming back too. He didn't really do much last year.
Yeah, but I mean,
or anything.
Right? He missed 13 games last year. I mean, what are you gonna do? But
that's what I'm saying. Like
he is.
Yeah, take him. It's pretty simple.
This is if he can stay healthy, obviously, but to see him go over, I would say 1,500 total yards. What are you all excited about?
I'm just happy for you, Kenny. Like, all right, so some people are going to be scared of Christian McCaffrey because he's coming off of an injury. Significant injury, was out 13 games. If I have the very first pick in a draft, doesn't matter if it's PPR, doesn't matter if it's standard scoring, whatever. Christian McCaffrey is my first pick.
It's because he's so versatile.
100%. He is the 1,000-yard receiver and a 1,000-yard runner. Like there's nobody to compare him to that.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
Kamara is a 500 to 600 maybe. Like Christian McCaffrey has the most upside points wise in any league for any player. That you can talk about. Just because
I think that Derrick
Henry is a dual threat.
His Derrick Henry and his ability to score makes
but Derrick
him really
Henry
good.
doesn't have a receiving ability.
He doesn't have the receiving, but he can get the 2,000 yards with rushing.
Okay, but cool.
Possibly.
But if you're in a PPR league and I got Christian McCaffrey, 1,000, if he's going to catch, he's going to have 1,000 yards receiving. Go, Henry.
Yeah.
You know what, Henry? Rush for 2,500 yards. I don't care. Guess what? McCaffrey's had 1,000 yards receiving, so that's going to be 50 to 60 catches at the least. So there's an extra 50 to 60 points on top of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can't match that. When
No,
you're
you
in a
can't.
PPR
You can't
league.
match that.
PPR is completely different.
And then in standard scoring, okay, Henry's going to rush for if he rushes for 2,000, okay, McCaffrey's going to be right there with him with even
total
if he doesn't
yards.
even just by total yards, and he's got more potential,
upside potential
for a home run threat too.
Yes.
Like Henry can bust some big runs from time to time, and he'll probably have 3 or 4 runs of like 60 plus yards or 70 plus yards for a touchdown. But I'm glad you went that way, Ken. I'm very excited that you see my side of things. For once.
I told you I was pandering. I mean, fantasy is fantasy. Like you have to understand where your points come from, and when you have a dual threat guy like Christian McCaffrey, you have to take him. There's no way you can give up a 1,000-yard receiver and a 1,000-yard rusher in the same player.
Yeah,
because you're just hoping that 2 of your players, a wide receiver and a running back, can do the same fucking thing. But if you can get that in the same player, you can't pass that up.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's my second pick, and I'm glad that Nick was excited about that.
Yeah, Nick got excited for that.
I did. Yeah. Kenny never sees my side of things ever.
All right.
Told you I was pandering.
Derek's ready to go, Kenny.
Oh, Derek.
I'm surprised Audrey didn't cut his internet off this week.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. All right, so that's this episode of the Kenny Sports Talk.
No wife sabotage this week.
No wife sabotages this week. We're doing good. I put mine to bed early, so we don't have to worry about that. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes. Share the podcast with your friends. Talk shit to us on Twitter.
Tell us the players that you think that you should be looking at for fantasy.
Yep. Let us know. Comment on. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube as well. Let it in the comments. Talk about or say who you were excited about for fantasy this year.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.